won a second test match against the All Blacks, and the British Isles have never won a test on Lancaster Park. Today, to keep their tour alive, they have to win. It's as simple as that. And 60,000 fans or thereabouts are here to view what will surely be one of the most dramatic matches in recent years. At the moment, play due to start in about 5 minutes, and people are anxiously waiting for the two teams to come onto the field. The crowd at the moment being entertained by the New Zealand Army Band, doing a splendid job on a soft Lancaster Park and keeping away from the cricket pitch area, which will be the critical muddy patch this afternoon. The New Zealand Army Band, you remember from the opening ceremony telecast from the Commonwealth Games across the town of Christchurch in 1974, have really turned on a tremendous display today. They've incorporated a whole lot of new movements, including some rugby movements with lineouts and scrums and so on. It's been a tremendous display by this very talented group of Army musicians, the New Zealand Army Band. But the real action area of today's match will be this critical piece about the centre of the field, which is the Test cricket block, where so many of New Zealand's dramatic cricket tests have been played. It's very wet, muddy and oozy in there, and that will be the part of the field the players will want to stay away from. By tradition, here in fact is the band going into its scrum formation now. We might just like to have a look at this. You see the scrum and the back lines and fullbacks set up. There's the scrum. Well, the music, of course, My Old Man's a Dustman, which is better known in New Zealand by an old Howard Morrison song, which was My Old Man's an All Black. Soon the All Blacks will be on the field for the second test with one new cap, Mark Taylor, with 3 changes, with the withdrawal of Grant Batty and Bruce Robertson, and the withdrawal through illness of Manawatu's Kent Lambert. Bill Bush, Mark Taylor and Lynn Jaffray will be in the All Black team. They were the 3 players who did not play at Wellington. Now here's the band in line-out formation. And the tune, appropriately enough, Land of Hope and Glory. Well, I guess you could say it could only happen in New Zealand. The Army Band giving a demonstration in rugby form, and that's been greatly appreciated by the huge crowd massed in the stands here at the Lancaster Park Oval. In fact, this will be the biggest crowd of the tour, because the ground capacity here with the enormous embankment opposite the stands, which holds upwards of 35,000 fans all packed in, is in fact bigger than the capacity of Eden Park, which is previously New Zealand's biggest ground. So close to 60,000 today here at the park, and very shortly, a matter of seconds, the 30 players coming onto the field.
Lynn Jaffray replaces Bruce Robertson, and will be wearing the number 13 jersey.
There is the British Isles team as they come on to the field. 6 changes from the first test, and the forward pack 5 newcomers. The British Isles huddled together in their traditional manner, but here are their opponents, the All Blacks, with 3 changes from the team which beat the Lions in the first test at Athletic Park by 16 points to 12. There's the first new cap, a full international for Bay of Plenty's Mark Taylor, who'll play on the wing today, normally a second 5/8. And one of the early things that we'll look for is to whether this man Taylor will throw in at the lineouts, because he's normally a second 5/8, and we think he's not been used to throwing in at all. So it may be the All Blacks will use Tani Norton on one side of the field to throw in and Brian Williams on the other. The match about to start. The wind is from the easterly quarter, so it's coming across the field, which is north to the left and south to the right. Brian Williams to kick off. There's the referee, his first international, Brian Duffy of Taranaki. And referee Brian Duffy starts the second test match of the 1977 season. And Brian Williams kicks to Phil Bennett. So this is the big crunch test for Phil Bennett's Lions. Lose this one and the series is out of their reach. First line out on the 22, and straight away we notice that Taylor is doing the throwing in. Sit going, passes to Doug Bruce. Whistle has gone. Number 9, Sid going. His opposite number, Brynmore Williams. The scrum on the 22. Look for the Lions' big push. Brynmore Williams lost it for Andy Hayden. Penalty, a handy position. First minute of play. Looks like Brynmore Williams was the man responsible again. So after only 1 minute of play from a ruck, the Lions are penalised. And number 14, Brian Williams, will kick for goal. So it's a very handy angle, as you can see. Williams taking it back to the 22. The ball will still be dry. And this might be a key factor if the game is low scoring, as it may well be on a soft pitch. For those of you at home, it may look a little better than it is because it's well grassed, apart from the part in the centre of the field, which is muddy from the cricket pitch area. But now 60,000 fans here and a million others watching at home. Watch number 14, Brian Williams. Hooked away to the left. Williams will be very disappointed indeed, and so will his All Black, given them a critical start in this match.
Your sound, apparently.
Phil Bennett kicks out, second minute of play. There's Bill Bush on his home ground. Sid going. That's a clever little kick. Gareth Evans. Sid going is the man a lot of the crowd here at Lancaster Park are watching closely, because they have felt here, of course, that Lynn Davis should be in the team following the indifferent service Sid going gave in the first test. Brian Williams throwing. Willie Duggan taps 10 metres out from the Lions goal line. Cobner swings. Brynmore Williams. Steve Fenwick, number 12. Colin Farrell back behind halfway. Midway, halfway and 22. Williams. Ian McGeechan. The ball is still in play. Williams will have plenty of time though. So Williams has found touch 10 metres line. Lineouts will be again an important factor of the game. The All Blacks dominated completely in the first test. Peter Wheeler to throw. See number 7 on there, Derek Quinnell, really a very hard competitor. The Lions' forward effort will be a lot better because of his inclusion. From Llanelli, a clubmate of JJ Williams and Phil Bennett, Derek Quinnell. Bruce with his left boot, down to Andy Irvin. The All Blacks coming back on the attack. It just dropped short of Andy Irvin at the touchline. "15 metres out. Lions in possession. Duggan has it. Brynmore Williams. Bennett. Down to Brian Williams. Bill Osborne. Lions defensive wall holding in these early moments. Number 1, Fran Cotton fed. Now Gareth Evans is chasing back quickly here with Frank Oliver. Gareth Evans. But his kick ahead just went over the touchline. And what sort of a defensive wall was that for the All Blacks to put up? Because all of a sudden it was Frank Oliver left on his own to stop the kick ahead by number 11 Gareth Evans. So that big gap in the All Blacks defence means they're now right against their own goal line. Williams to throw. Duggan is right there. And Graham Price. All Blacks in defence. A great chance here for the Lions. Following that breakout by Gareth Evans. All Blacks backs in defence. British Isles front row today, 2 changes from the first test. The All Blacks have 1 change. That's Brad Johnston. With his head in the air, Graham Price, number 3. You notice Quinnell on the open side of the flank. Kevin Everly for the All Blacks. Shit going offside. A handy position. It's right by the goal line. The Lions must surely kick for goal, and back they go. Phil Bennett quickly into position. So the distance will be about 30 metres on the angle. Phil Bennett with 64 points to his credit on tour so far. 7 minutes gone. Lions in front. So that important early first points in this match goes to the Lions after it could very well have been the All Blacks who went ahead 3 points to nil. The Lions have the advantage after 8 minutes of play. Farrell chips into Gordon Brown. Willie Duggan, who's been involved in a lot already. Tani Norton was offside. Bennett. This is Phil Bennett's 31st international today. 25 for Wales, 6 for the Lions. And Mark Taylor to throw.
Call out. And drive.
Frank Oliver went high, going back to Canterbury's favourite Doug Bruce. Doug Bruce has had 3 overseas tours with the All Blacks, but has never before been seen in New Zealand in the All Black jersey. Wheeler throws to the 2 pairs of locks. Lynn Jaffray is there, number 13. Andy Irvin in centre field. Brynmore Williams, Phil Bennett. High test ahead, that's the one to test Colin Farrell. So Farrell's first big test, the first high kick, he was safe and sure. Wind slightly favours the British Isles in the first half, and we notice that they're putting shortened lineouts in at their throws so far. That's number 1, Fran Cotton, then Bill Beaumont, his English teammate, jumping against Frank Oliver. Wheeler throws, Kirkpatrick goes high. Who is Peter Wheeler? All Black captain Tani Norton, who today becomes the most capped All Black hooker of all time. 25 tests in a row. Sit going, Doug Bruce. Front of Andy Irvin, and into touch, that kick from Doug Bruce. Combination so far working quite well. Brad Johnston, Frank Oliver, then Billy Bush, Andy Hayden. That's big Fran Cotton and Gordon Brown. 11 minutes gone. Laurie Knight, number 8. Clean hook by Norton. Back to Colin Farrell. Game is pretty tight in these early stages. All Blacks not going for great distance up the touchline. And the ground down in that particular area of the field is holding quite well. Line out so far, clean ball, 2 each. Tapped ball for Brynmore Williams. Away to Bennett. McGeechan left out. Fenwick tests Farrell. So once again, Colin Farrell gets through the pressure that we felt wasn't put on him in Wellington when he was playing badly. Halfway to the left, Peter Wheeler. For 6, Terry Cobner. 7 for the All Blacks, Kevin Everly. Lions getting a lot more possession. But that's a line-out infringement against them. Here's a fight down to the right. The Lions rushing forward. Now, I didn't see what that one's all about. Brad Johnston was the man on the ground. And that happened way after the whistle had gone and most of the Lions players had retired. Doug Bruce. Awkward bounce. Gareth Evans back to Andy Irvin. Out on the full. In fact, the kicker was this little man, Phil Bennett. Williams to throw. Still, the Lions lead by 3 points to 0. Hayden, number 4. Lions tap ball. Brynmore Williams to Phil Bennett. Andy Hayden going across in cover. Was it Kirkpatrick? Farrell left it behind. 13 is Jeff Ray. Gordon Brown outside the 22. Quinnell. McGeechan. JJ Williams. What a score! It began with this press forward by Derek Quinnell, swinging the ball to Ian McGeechan. Then it was JJ Williams, a clever little delay here, which gave Mark Taylor no chance. Then cutting through behind going, and Doug Bruce and JJ Williams from here on in was unstoppable. JJ Williams, his 9th try of the tour. The Lions 7, the All Blacks 0. A confident start for the touring team. With Bennett in his kicking form, there could be more to come following this conversion attempt. Unbelievably bad luck just when the Lions really want it. It bounced away from the post. It's 7 points to 0. The man holding his foot is Andy Hayden as the All Black team regroups at halfway, having conceded the first 2 scores of the match, a penalty and then a try. And the try really, on reflection, was made so very simply. The Lions made a strong press, a high kick through, or low kick through, in fact, behind the advantage line. Farrell left the ball behind. The setup and then away to the right, and JJ Williams, with a clever little dummy and delay, went in for the day's first try. Perhaps it might have just been a damaged boot for Hayden, although he does seem to be favouring it a little. Play to restart again. It's a little ominous. 7-point disadvantage for the All Blacks already. Doug Bruce. It's going to Bill Beaumont. And Duggan. Brynmore Williams. So that kick by Williams was a good one, taking place 7 metres into All Black territory. Lions winning the lineouts at the moment by 4-2. Complete change from the first test. Mark Taylor throwing. There's another one. Brynmore Williams at halfway, in front of Bennett to McGeechan. An angle kick behind Brian Williams. Farrell. Well, you can see Farrell getting his confidence under those high kicks and attempting that time to beat Gareth Evans on the Lions left wing. Again, the Lions deploying the shortened line-out. Round at Beaumont. Brynmore Williams caught by Hayden. Lions have the put in here. So it may in fact have been a knock forward by that New Zealand player. Willie Duggan, the only Irishman in the team. Away to Terry Cobner, the pack leader. Steve Fenwick. This one might have gone a little too far. An awkward bounce for Farrell. A low kick by Farrell to touch. So the Lions, with that early pressure from the All Blacks, survived and now applying pressure in kind themselves. Catch by Kirkpatrick. Sid going. Bill Beaumont going high. Line out possession coming easily for the Lions. Phil Bennett running. Fenwick. Bryn Williams. Phil Bennett. Hayden on the 22. Knock forward from that move by Phil Bennett. The Lions playing with a lot of confidence here. That's the awesome factor that the All Blacks will have to face up to in the first 20 minutes. The ball has not yet gone beyond Doug Bruce to Jaffray and Osborne. Wheeler feeds Brynma Williams. That was good play again by the Lions. Fenwick looking for the cut and getting through. Peter Wheeler. All Black defence was there that time. Sid going. Another penalty to the Lions as Wheeler was cut down. And the All Blacks are offside. Another kicking chance here for the British Isles after 20 minutes of play. So it was Sid going who conceded that penalty. And this could give the Lions a 10-point advantage. It's from an easy position for number 10, Phil Bennett. British Isles further ahead. Phil Bennett's second penalty goal. And that's the scoreline, which doesn't look good for New Zealand. Farrell kicks to Gordon Brown. Down to Sid going. Dougie Bruce, Jaffray. It was partially blocked. Irvin coming up from fullback there very quickly indeed, but the ball is out on the All Blacks 10-metre line. Williams throws. Line out 7-3 to the Lions. A complete turnaround in the first 21 minutes from what we saw in the first test at Wellington. All Black scrum packing very low. Turning, Knight to going. Caught by Duggan. That's the really swampy part of the field they're in. Bill Bush over the top and is penalised. And underneath it all was Derek Quinnell. Last week, you remember, in the match at Wellington, the jersey was rucked off his back. But Quinnell is a very tough character indeed. Today it was his shorts that got the worst of that one. The Lions have a penalty just on their own side of halfway. Tapping and running, Beaumont. All Blacks over the top again. Brynma Williams. Penalty in the ruck. Doug Bruce, his left boot will be called on here. Doug Bruce's 4th Test match and his 22nd match for the All Blacks. Outside the 22. £10-0 the Lions lead. And winning line-out possession with ease. Fenwick. This one's down to Brian Williams. Bangs it straight back, and that clever little trap from Phil Bennett, the former soccer player. Everly onto him, down and up, and slipped the ball to Frank Oliver. Now Ian Kirkpatrick, Bill Bush. Quinnell is penalised. Now this is drama, and high drama too, because Phil Bennett is injured. He refuses to take medical attention, but this was the turning point in the first test. It looks like a blow to the face when he went down in that tackle. So in the wars again, Phil Bennett. He made that clever little stop with his foot and then set off on a run, but the ground went from under him and he slipped and was blocked by Kevin Everly, who slipped the ball away. So Williams, from the same position he had in the first minute of play, a chance to put points on the board for New Zealand. The gap is closed to just 7 points now after 25 minutes of play. The signs just a bit more encouraging for the All Blacks and those two surges upfield as Bennett restarts. Willie Duggan got there first, you saw that. Going 10 metres line. All Black scrum holding. The Lions have dropped Duggan off. Andy Irvin. Colin Farrell behind the 22. Shortened line out and a quick one. Quinnell gets out to play fly half, but the whistle's gone. Peter Wheeler waiting. Graham Price from Pontypool, his Pontypool club mate Terry Cobner pushing at the flank position. Scrum 10 metres All Black territory. Knight to his club mate Ian Kirkpatrick. Away to Doug Bruce. Back to Gareth Evans. Gareth Evans, this is his first full international cap today, having just been a replacement in one other international for Wales. His kick out on the full. 26 minutes. Referee Duffy doing a very good job on his first international so far. Called that one not straight. Turning scrum. Duggan caught by going. Brynmore Williams. Back to Bennett. Farrell's catching them today all right. Phil Bennett again. Brian Williams has dropped back to plug the fullback's gap. Mark Taylor, number 11. The pride and joy of Nongataha. Mark Taylor. British Isles 10, New Zealand 3. Play on the 22. And 27.5 minutes gone on the first half. Peter Wheeler. Cotton, number 1. You see the big packing on Gordon Brown's shoulder, making him look a little like the, I suppose, the hunchback of Troon. That's where he's from. One against, Sid going again. Further chance for the Lions to put points on the board. And this is all it has to go from the boot of Phil Bennett. His 4th kick today. Again, the Lions extend the lead out to 10 points. With that 3rd penalty kick by Phil Bennett. So he becomes the top point scorer on tour so far with 73 points. Andy Hayden got there first. Frank Oliver feeds Ian Kirkpatrick, who takes on Cobner. Bill Bush, 22 metres line. Sid going. Doug Bruce, Lynn Jaffray for the first time. Kirkpatrick, 22 again. Going. Bruce, Jaffray. Mark Taylor, plenty of Lions back in defence. Mark Taylor. The man offside is Fran Cotton, just to the left of the picture for up over the last man. And there he is, conceded the penalty, handy to the posts for the All Blacks kicker, Brian Williams. So that's 3 kicks in a row Williams has had from almost the same place. You could call the first one a sighter. He missed that one. The second one went through. Now we look at the third. After just 30 minutes of play. Second success for Brian Williams. That encourages the crowd. 13 points to 6. So there's been lots happening in the first 31 minutes of play. The most significant, of course, is that Phil Bennett's Lions team is going a lot better. Bennett kicks, fair catch taken by number 4, Andy Hayden, this huge man who stands 6 feet 7 inches above the earth's crust, the biggest man ever to play in the All Blacks at 17.5 stone. From the Ponsonby Club in Auckland, Andy Hayden locking the scrum there with Frank Oliver. Quick throw in. Bobner might have come off his knee. Quinnell ripping in the maul. It's difficult to say what that one was for. It was on the far side to us. The man on the ground is Ian Kirkpatrick. Ian Kirkpatrick today, in fact, is playing his 250th first-class match. 37th international, his 37th test match for the All Blacks, and 111 games in the New Zealand colours. "32 minutes of running play so far." Colin Farrell. That one fizzed off the side, going directly across the field to touch. Peter Wheeler, Knight going high. There goes Kingy Bush. Bill Osborne. Bush again. Sid going, all the Maoris in the move. Now out to Doug Bruce. Lions up over the advantage line. A centre field penalty to the All Blacks. Cobner was the man who was offside. And just occasionally the All Blacks' momentum gets them going. And that time it was Bill Bush who churned away in combination with Bill Osborne and then Sid going. And now the emphasis is on this fourth kick at goal today from Brian Williams. Brian Williams has now scored 336 points for the All Blacks, 123 of them off his boot. Straight out in front from 47 metres. It's going to be a bit short. Willie Duggan under the bar. Phil Bennett kicks. Andy Hayden. Brynmore Williams forced to do the tackling. That's Andy Hayden who made that catch, pushed forward. Let's have a look at the time gone, 35 minutes. And the injured man, Willie Duggan, a man who's been playing rugby since he was 7 years old, which is a rarity in the United Kingdom, with rugby not really the #1 sport, and so many of this Lions team having played soccer in their young days. Terry Cobner, number 6, who leads the pack and a vital player in this Lions team. Next to him, the fair-haired man with his hands up from the Leicester Tigers, Peter Wheeler. Duggan set to go again. Loose head for the All Blacks on the 22, on attack. Doug Bruce. Planned move, Bill Osborne. Everly lost it forward. You saw referee Duffy's signal. He waited to see if the Lions could get advantage from Everly's knock forward. The All Blacks are pressing 15 metres out. Looks like one against the head. Brian Williams. Ball in touch. Now the Lions are being put to the test. Ten metres out. Peter Wheeler to throw. Gordon Brown it was. Defensive penalty though. Bennett takes those kicks so very quickly. This one is outside the 22 by 10 metres. Palmed by Williams, Ponsonby teammate. Awkward for Sid going. Looked like it was a knock on. New Zealand have the put in here, so it must have been knocked through the line out by a British hand. Sid going. Doug Bruce. That's the first high one he's put Andy Irvin under. Sid going. Got his kick away. Lions covers there. Phil Bennett. Mark Taylor and John Williams. A little dispute away to the left there. Mark Taylor pushing his opposite winger away. It's JJ Williams. The play's gone back to centre field for a scrum. A knock on out there by the Lions. On the 22, Sid going. Doug Bruce on the short side, Brian Williams. Sid going again. Corner flag's not far away. Bill Bush. Perhaps Bush should have passed to the open in that unfamiliar role of halfback, though he probably preferred to keep it in close where he knows best what the requirements are. So Bill Bush elected to go the narrow side and the ball is in touch. This is Gordon Brown. So Tani Norton has really got in and spoken to the core of this All Black side, because they've come back in the last 7 and 8 minutes and are asking the question of the Lions at the moment. Are they good enough? The Lions try line is just to the left of this lineup. Peter Wheeler throws. Phil Bennett running from behind his line. Ian McGeechan. JJ Williams. Back to Farrell. Whistle's gone. This is the man who offended, Mark Taylor. A late charge on his opposite, JJ Williams. Penalty up by halfway to the British Isles. But did you see that ambitious, adventurous play by the Lions behind their own goal line? That's a team playing with confidence. And here's a man with great confidence as well. Andy Irvin, because he's going to kick a goal from beyond the halfway line. This is a huge kick. 55 metres from a drier patch of the field. Right on half-time, Andy Irvin. Short to Brian Williams. The ball is in touch. A first half in which we saw 5 penalty goals kicked sees the Lions lead at half-time by 13 points to 6. So the All Blacks and the Lions about to begin the second half. The business end of the match, with the score favouring the Lions by those 7 points. They have to win to keep the series alive. The All Blacks can clinch the series with a 2-0 victory today. Phil Bennett kicks off. We should see a dramatic next 40 minutes. Lions in the maul. The man with it, Derek Quinnell. Away to Brynmore Williams. Down to Ian McGeechan. Brian Williams. Steve Fenwick. A high ball over Andy Irvin's head. Laurie Knight bearing down. Little basketball pass to Fenwick. Brynmore Williams. Phil Bennett. Colin Farrell across. Well, the only team playing with any surety in moving the ball by hand are the British Isles, the men in red. And they've pushed up now to within striking distance in the first minute of the second half. Fran Cotton, Gordon Brown, Ian Kirkpatrick, Derek Quinnell, Laurie Knight, Willie Duggan. That's the All Blacks try line behind. Knight Palms. Line outs in the first half favour the Lions by 10-4. Defensive penalty. Doug Bruce, Andy Irvin, going to let fly with a drop kick. Mark Taylor. Irvin again, lost this one forward. Advantage may apply. Terry Cobner. Duggan slipped it, Williams caught. Frank Oliver, number 5, kicking through. Andy Irvin, down to Bill Osborne. Brian Williams. Gareth Evans has got the job in front of him. Phil Bennett back with Osborne closing quickly. And again, the soccer talents of Phil Bennett paid off. Sliding that ball to touch. All Blacks on attack. 3 minutes in the second half. Duggan, but the All Blacks had it. Andy Irvin leaning on the goalpost in the background. Getting back into action now. Norton's feet were back. The All Blacks looking for a stronger shove there. Kevin Everly lured over the advantage line. Irvin may place kick this one to touch. It's his little tactic. Yes, he's going to do the same as he did in the Canterbury match a couple of weeks ago. A little speciality he has. He can get more distance, he says, this way. Well, Andy Irvin's got other things to think about today as well. His wife, Audrey, is at home in Scotland, and she's expecting their first baby today. But Andy Irvin in the test match very much at the moment. Doug Bruce sending it back to Irvin again. Back where he started from the previous play. Turkey holding it up. Sid going. Penalty at halfway. Now what happened there? Something in the line out. Lions forwards the men to blame. And this is a long way out. Brian Williams has the ball, so that means it's going to be a shot for goal, I would think. The little white line there is the halfway, so it's over 50 metres with a heavy ball for Brian Williams. But of course we've seen him kick big goals before, perhaps not with a ball as heavy and as coated as mud as this one is. You'll see the extra weight the ball will have with the mud clinging to it. From 53 metres. The 6th minute of play. Brian Williams. Willie Duggan caught it in dramatic fashion under the posts and returned the kick to touch. Willie Duggan, his 9th match on tour, his 15th international today. Some hard men on those two forward packs. Williams throws. British Isles ball. The All Blacks have held the scrum shove of the Lions so far. There's Super Sid's little speciality, flicking the ball through his feet, but it's a penalty, in fact, against the British Isles. And it was against number 9, Brynmore Williams. So Brian Williams will have his 6th shot at goal in the match. He's come up about 10 metres on the one we saw just a moment ago. This one is about, on the angle, about 43 metres. A clinging, cloying, muddy surface. Very difficult on which to kick. And more difficult as the match goes on. Nearly 8 minutes gone. That one slides away to the right. So Phil Bennett back at the 22. He'll be happy to see those kicks miss and happy to see his team competing so very well today. Kevin Everly, Fenwick. The match in the second half, I think you'll agree, has not really flowed as yet. A lot of infringements along this particular stretch of touchline. Brynmore Williams made sure that one was straight. Willie Duggan inching forward. Now they're trying to drive. Knight wins the ball for Doug Bruce. Out to Lynn Jaffray. Bill Osborne. Mark Taylor. JJ Williams in front of him. Mark Taylor, very determined run. 15 metres out. So a good run there by Taylor. Really bursting into his tackle, letting JJ Williams, his opposite, know he's there. But a dramatic piece of play here, an injury right out in centre field. And the man standing all on his own is Graham Price. And that he must have been injured as a result of the previous ruck from where Doug Bruce got the ball, because he stayed in that part of the field while the play surged across to the far side. Steve Fenwick also trotting away to receive medical attention, number 12. Looks like it might be, maybe that's the signal for shorts. It's got to be shorts. That's Doc Murdoch in the tracksuit, who's the Lions masseur. That's Doc Murdoch, and it's not shorts, it's tape. You see Terry Cobner, number 6, and Graham Price, number 3. The two are clubmates from the Pontypool club. Played an awful lot of tough rugby in that club. In fact, it was so tough last year that several clubs wouldn't play against them, the Pontypool team. Price back in action. All Blacks back on attack. Mark Taylor to throw. Defensive line-out infringement. Bennett kicks. That drives the All Blacks out of the Lions' defensive zone. Taylor to throw. You see Gordon Brown to the right, number 5, poised to leap for the ball. Brown got up. Kirkpatrick has it. Going. Bruce. Jaffray. Osborne. Farrell coming up. Osborne kicks low. Urban. Midway, halfway in the 22. Brian Williams. He knows that Andy Urban's in the ruck, so he's kicked back. Phil Bennett. And here's trouble. Well, the frustrations of the match simply have boiled over. It all began when Phil Bennett was brought down after making the kick. And it was not good again to see the boot going in. The All Blacks are penalised from it. And I think Brian Duffy's done the right thing. But you can see by that kind of action, of the roughest kind, and there's the message being laid down by referee Duffy to these two forward packs.
Stay up. Stay up. Stay right.
So referee Duffy stopped the problem of collapsing scrums by asking the forwards to stay up. Tight head to Wheeler. Quinnell bursting. Laurie Knight and Williams threw strongly on Derek Quinnell. Time ticks away. 12 and a half minutes gone in the second half. Graham Price got that one. Cotton feeds Brynmore Williams. Away to Bennett. Fenwick, Irvin up. The Geekins had stuck in the mud. Osborne. Sid going. Kirkpatrick. All Blacks have lost it. Brynmore Williams. Fenwick. That's against Brian Williams. A head-high attempted tackle ruled dangerous by the referee against Brian Williams. See how Williams goes in with his arm stretched out for the what is commonly known as the stiff arm, and Brian Duffy right on the spot to see that as it clipped the top of Steve Fenwick's head. So the match has become intensely physical in the last few moments. Irvin place kicks for touch. Penalties actually are 11 to each team. Tapped by Frank Oliver to Sid going. Kicking to Gareth Evans. Sid Going's kick was out on the full. Shorten line out coming up. Two sets of locks. Knocked forward by Kevin Everly. Midfield, Sid going. Brian Williams got the in pass. Kicking ahead for Andy Irvin. Now the crowd think there was a late charge there on Brian Williams, and I think they could be right, because Williams was brought down. Let's look at it again. The kick was made, and then the feet were taken out from under Brian Williams in an action that can be made deliberately, of course. Referee Duffy ruled otherwise. All Blacks on attack. Hayden got the palm, an awkward bouncing ball for Sid going. Touch. 22 metres line. Turning scrum here. Duggan again, but again wrapped up by Sid going. That'll be the All Blacks put in, I feel sure, for a knock forward by number 9, Brynmore Williams. Lions, in fact, got the put in. I was wrong. Phil Bennett bouncing in field. Brian Williams kicking high. Looks like it's a bit too far again. Well, Phil Bennett's Lions team is holding at the moment. The All Blacks are really throwing their best at them at the moment in the close physical contact stuff, but they're not finding any way through. Again, it's Urban. The busiest player on the tour. His 12th match. So the Lions push up. Now that's the All Blacks 22 to the left. Cobner, Duggan, who's got so much good line-out ball. So is Gordon Brown. (13-6). British Isles lead. 17 minutes in the second half. Away to Doug Bruce. Little kick through behind the advantage line. Lynn Jaffray doing a bit of soccer himself. Andy Urban ran into his own teammate. Oh, ideally that should have been accidentally offside with Jaffray's little kick through. Now watch this. It goes down to Andy Urban, but then he runs in to one of his own teammates first. And Brynmore Williams it was. The ball coming across. The Lions made no gain from the move. So the play will begin with a line out, but Brynmore Williams was hurt. And this is the man who is and has been the inspiration behind the Lions' forward effort on this tour. So Brynmore Williams coming back to his position. And this tight, dramatic test match is almost three-quarters played. Hayden again not getting clean ball. Williams has got to hurry back. Lions deploying a shortened line out. Cotton, Beaumont, Brown and Duggan. Johnston, Oliver, Hayden and Kirkpatrick. Hayden got the tap to Brad Johnston. Peter Wheeler gets through to Spoil. Away to Cobner. Brynmore Williams. Gareth Evans took it and was out. Somebody again on the ground. Brynmore Williams it is. Now you may have seen that one as it happened. It just missed my attention. Let's look at it again. Brynmore Williams with the ball, leaving out Price, passing to Evans. And a strong blocking tackle by Brad Johnston, the All Black prop. 24-year-old Brynmore Williams seems ready to go again. 13-6 the Lions lead. Line out infringement. This is very much a kicking chance for Phil Bennett. There's been no scoring in the first 20 minutes of the second half. So this could well be a vital attempt for the Lions captain Phil Bennett. He's not worrying about it, taking his usual quick approach. Who knows, perhaps it was too quick. Ball over the dead ball line. Bennett's miss keeps the score the same. The Lions still in the lead, however. And Doug Bruce to kick out. Beaumont high, Brad Johnston. All Black forwards over the top. Kirkpatrick Notice how quickly the Lions are stopping these attacks. Going, made the feed, but Brian Duffy saw an earlier infringement. Lions tour hopes still alive with their lead. Look how low those scrums are twisting. As you can see, that there's nowhere that Brynmore Williams could put the ball in. Yeah. Controlled channel. Duggan straight into Sid going again, but the Lions do this, I think, to get the control in the maul. Brynmore Williams, Phil Bennett. He's missed his touch. Williams hooks his kick back outside the 22. Bennett came down a little heavily. Wheeler throws. Looks like it wasn't thrown in straight. Lions applying the pressure in scrums now. Everly kicking the ball on. Duggan has it. And Duggan did not release the ball in there. And is penalised. Tani Norton, a little discussion here with Sid going being brought in. Brad Johnson standing off. It's going to be a planned move. Johnston into charging Billy Bush. Everly feeds going. That one's got Irvin running. He let it bounce. It may be that the very criticism that was levelled at Sid going in the first test for running too much will be the only factor in which the All Blacks can win this match. He hasn't really had a run today. His intent on passing it, perhaps he should, and give the All Blacks that extra little break. Inching forward into the Lions scoring area. That's the 22. .23 minutes gone on the second half. Remember, with the gap as wide as it is at 7 points, the All Blacks will have to score at least twice. So these are worrying days for the All Blacks. Williams throws, palm by Knight. Kirkpatrick. Sid going. Doug Bruce. Bill Osborne. Andy Hayden. Sid going again. He looked for the run, didn't he? Right under the posts. A little outbreak in there. An easy looking penalty. Andy Irvin's got something to say. And Willie Duggan goes down. Well, it's been a bruising, bitter second half of this test match. Watched on a cold Christchurch afternoon by close to 60,000 people here at the ground. And if Williams can kick this goal, then we're bound to see an intensely exciting last quarter hour. Well, Sid Going must have been thinking along the same lines. It seemed as though he had to have a little run to try and break this vice-like grip the Lions have had in the close-quarter defensive work. His little run was blocked, but led to a penalty anyway, which Williams should convert into points. So this is an important one for Williams, his 7th kick at goal today, 2 successes so far. And he's hooked it away from the simplest of positions. Hooked away badly by Brian Williams. And unbelievable that he could miss from such a handy place. Bennett kicks. Hayden makes the catch again. He's played outstanding again. Bill Bush smuggling it through the ruck. Everly driving onto the 22. Kirkpatrick, Sid Going. Down, up and slip the ball. That's the way it's done. Kirkpatrick. Bruce. Whistle's gone. And again, could have been for accidentally offside. Brynmore Williams in defence. Bill Bush. You see Sid Going having a little word in Ian Kirkpatrick's ear there to the side. Going it was, who was offside. 14 penalties have been awarded to the Lions, 13 to New Zealand. The line-outs, 11 to the Lions and 10 to the All Blacks. Andy Irvin. He's not missed one of those yet. It's a worthwhile tactic indeed for Irvin. The All Blacks still have the job ahead of them. A lot of stoppages at the lineouts today. Shouldn't really be for crooked throw-ins. There's no wind, or not much wind here today. Duggan caught by Going. All Blacks looking desperately for the ball. There it is, but well and truly tied up. And the man who's got it, funnily enough, is Sid Going. His 29th international, his 86th game, Sid Going. Brynmore Williams away to Bennett. Oh, a loopy pass to McGeechan. Ian McGeechan didn't really, or hasn't really had much of a chance to run in this game. Not helped that time by a high pass by Phil Bennett. Lions have not been out of their territory for some time, but yet the All Blacks have not looked like breaking through. Going. It was spoiled for him. Wheeler gets the strike. Bennett. Williams covering that one. Now looking for open territory. Banging it behind JJ Williams. Andy Irvin, it's skidded past him. Mark Taylor. Phil Bennett. Good support play by the British Isles captain, Phil Bennett, staying in support of his fullback, Andy Irvin, and keeping the ball into touch. Price it is, who's injured again. Ten minutes left in the match. The All Blacks have to score soon so that they can really put it to the Lions for the last few minutes of this match. But somehow they've not looked like getting through a very tight Lions defence. It actually seems to have suited the Lions more to have played it on the puggy ground. Once again, Cobner consoling his clubmate and British Isles teammate Graham Price, who shakes his head and heads off. Let's have a look now. No, he heads to the front of the line-out. He hasn't been happy the last few minutes, Graham Price. Now here's Mark Taylor coming forward to restart the game with a throw. 10 minutes to play. 13 points to 6. No points yet in the second half. Well, what must the All Blacks do here? A kicking chance. Williams called in. Again, this could be the chance they're looking for to get some points on the board to enable them to put real pressure on the Lions. Because as it stands, the Lions know that they can concede 2 scoring opportunities, or 1 at least, and still retain the lead. But for the All Blacks to start their fight back, they need this one, just as they needed the one a moment ago from So Handy by the posts. And this is Williams' 8th kick today. .32 metres for Brian Williams. So now we're going to have an exciting last 9 minutes of play, because the All Blacks are now within striking distance of that Lions score of 13. A try will tie it up. A converted try can put the All Blacks into a winning position. So the Lions, who are now holding, must now take the play back to the New Zealand team. Williams in the action again. Nine points today for Brian Williams on the right wing. Remember, the British Isles have never won a second test. They've never won a test on this ground. They're 8 minutes away from victory at the moment. Metres in All Black territory. Looks like it's going to be a tap and charge. Bill Bush is going to lead it. Got the big man in there with him, the heavy artillery. Williams picked that up nicely. Kirkpatrick spinning out of the tackles. Laurie Knight, Sid going. Brian Williams. Irvin over the touchline. You see Williams going for the ball from Irvin. If he wants to make a quick throw, and it has to be with that ball. It can't be one he gets from a ball boy. The All Blacks inching forward. Short to Brad Johnston. Perhaps that one didn't go 5 metres. Defensive scrum. Brynmore Williams ball. Now everybody is feeling the pressure. 6 minutes left. You heard Brian Duffy's words, not hooked, put it in again. That time, Wheeler gets the loose head. Brynmore Williams, back to Bennett. Good kick by Bennett. Outside the 22 again. The All Blacks have the put in. So Brad Johnson will be one of the jumpers. Frank Oliver 2 and Andy Hayden. They're the vital men. Hayden gets the tap. Line out infringement. And somebody's come onto the field. There's a gentleman on the field from the crowd coming out to talk to the referee. Obviously come out to give Brian Duffy some advice. A long probe up the touchline again by Andy Evan. And you can see that he is concerned and determined to hold. Sid going, kicking with his left foot. Collision between Brynmore Williams and Gareth Evans. But the scrum is being put down for the original infringement, not straight at the line-out. Sid going. Quick heel. Doug Bruce. Jaffray left out. Farrell in for his first run. Cut down by Phil Bennett. Now here's the All Blacks playing with as though they want to win. Sid going. Well wrapped up that time. Here it comes, Mark Taylor, Lynn Jaffray. Bill Osborne lost it forward. Time ticks away, 4 minutes left of running time. Bennett, charged down by Going. He has the bounce. Ian Kirkpatrick. Duggan tipped it back. It's in the ball. Doug Bruce. Jaffray. Kirkpatrick trying to free the ball. Bennett looked as though he was offside. Osborne, Frank Oliver back. The whistle has gone, and from a charge down, Sid Going very nearly got away. So something must be planned. Sid Going's planning it. Let's see what it is from this scrum in centre field. The Lions up flat. Going. Doug Bruce. A little kick for JJ Williams, corner. That is the corner flag. 2 minutes of running time left. So this is where the Lions tour really goes onto the knife edge. $13 points to 9, the Lions lead. A converted try could win it for the All Blacks. A try could draw the game. The All Blacks have it. Kirkpatrick, it's right on the line. The last minute of a dramatic match. And the All Blacks have the put in. So once again, the responsibility goes onto Sydney Milton Going. 10 years an All Black Test player who's going to have to try and invent something. It's his decision what happens in this, which could be the last play of this dramatic Test match. So the choice belongs to Sid Going. He swings it. Bill Osborne. It could have been a try for Lynn Jaffray. It bounced away from his hands, and that could have been the clinching of the Test series had Jaffray held that pass. And just how close can you get? Bennett kicks. Brian Williams, he has a lineup. Coming free to the All Blacks. Doug Bruce, Jaffray, Farrell up. Osborne. Trying to run Williams into position. Brian Williams. The match is over. The Lions have held. Phil Bennett is delighted, no doubt. And that is the first time the British Isles have won a second Test match against the All Blacks. The first time they've won a Test match on Lancaster Park. Here's the man that led them to it and has kept the tour alive. We're in for two more exciting Test matches. A delighted Phil Bennett has led the Lions to a 13-9 victory. The British Isles huddled together in their traditional manner, but here are their opponents, the All Blacks, with three changes from the team which beat the Lions in the first Test at Athletic Park by 16 points to 12. There's the first new cap, a full international for Bay of Plenty's Mark Taylor, who'll play on the wing today, normally a second 5/8. And one of the early things that we'll look for is to whether this man Taylor will throw in at the lineouts, because he's normally a second 5/8, and we think he's not been used to throwing in at all. So it may be the All Blacks will use Tani Norton on one side of the field to throw in and Brian Williams on the other. The match about to start. The wind is from the easterly quarter, so it's coming across the field, which is north to the left and south to the right. Brian Williams to kick off. There's the referee, his first international, Brian Duffy of Taranaki. And referee Brian Duffy starts the second Test match of the 1977 season. And Brian Williams kicks to Phil Bennett. So this is the big crunch test for Phil Bennett's Lions. Lose this one and the series is out of their reach. First line out on the 22, and straight away we notice that Taylor is doing the throwing in. Sid going, passes to Doug Bruce. Whistle has gone. Number 9, Sid going. His opposite number, Brynmore Williams. The scrum on the 22. Look for the Lions' big push. Brynmore Williams lost it for Andy Hayden. Penalty, a handy position. First minute of play. Looks like Brynmore Williams was the man responsible again. So after only 1 minute of play, a second test match against the All Blacks. And the British Isles have never won a test on Lancaster Park. Today, to keep their tour alive, they have to win. It's as simple as that. And 60,000 fans, or thereabouts, are here to view what will surely be one of the most dramatic matches in recent years. At the moment, play due to start in about 5 minutes. And people are anxiously waiting for the two teams to come onto the field. The crowd at the moment being entertained by the New Zealand Army Band, doing a splendid job on a soft Lancaster Park and keeping away from the cricket pitch area, which will be the critical muddy patch this afternoon. The New Zealand Army Band, you remember from the opening ceremony telecast from the Commonwealth Games across the town of Christchurch in 1974, have really turned on a tremendous display today. They've incorporated a whole lot of new movements, including some rugby movements with line-outs and scrums and so on. It's been a tremendous display by this very talented group of Army musicians, the New Zealand Army Band. But the real action area of today's match will be this critical piece about the centre of the field, which is the Test cricket block, where so many of New Zealand's dramatic cricket tests have been played. It's very wet, muddy and oozy in there, and that will be the part of the field the players will want to stay away from. By tradition, here in fact is the band going into its scrum formation now. We might just like to have a look at this. You see the scrum and the back lines and fullbacks set up. There's the scrum. Well, the music, of course, My Old Man's a Dustman, which is better known in New Zealand by an old Howard Morrison song, which was from a ruck. The Lions are penalised. And number 14, Brian Williams, will kick for goal. So it's a very handy angle, as you can see. Williams taking it back to the 22. The ball will still be dry. And this might be a key factor if the game is low scoring, as it may well be on a soft pitch. For those of you at home, it may look a little better than it is because it's well grassed, apart from the part in the centre of the field, which is muddy from the cricket pitch area. But now 60,000 fans here and a million others watching at home. Watch number 14, Brian Williams. Hooked away to the left. Williams will be very disappointed indeed, and so will his All Blacks, given them a critical start in this match.
Your sound, apparently.
Phil Bennett kicks out, second minute of play. There's Bill Bush on his home ground. Sid going. That's a clever little kick. Gareth Evans. Sid Going is the man a lot of the crowd here at Lancaster Park are watching closely, because they have felt here, of course, that Lynn Davis should be in the team following the indifferent service Sid Going gave in the first test. Brian Williams throwing. Willie Duggan taps 10 metres out from the Lions goal line. Cobner swings. Brynmore Williams. Steve Fenwick, number 12. Colin Farrell back behind halfway. Midway, halfway in 22. Williams. Ian McGeechan. The ball is still in play. Williams will have plenty of time though. So Williams has found touch 10 metres line. Lineouts will be again an important factor of the game. The All Blacks dominated completely in the first test. Peter Wheeler to throw. See number 7 in there, Derek Quinnell, really a very hard competitor. The Lions' forward effort will be a lot better because of his inclusion. From Llanelli, a clubmate of JJ Williams and Phil Bennett, Derek Quinnell. Bruce with his left boot, down to Andy Irvin. The All Blacks coming back on the attack. It just dropped short of Andy Irvin at the touchline. "15 metres out. Lions in possession. Duggan has it. Brynma Williams. Bennett. Down to Brian Williams. Bill Osborne. Lions defensive wall holding in these early moments. Number 1, Fran Cotton fed. Now Gareth Evans is chasing back quickly here with Frank Oliver. Gareth Evans. But his kick ahead just went over the touchline. And what sort of a defensive wall was that for the All Blacks to put up? Because all of a sudden it was Frank Oliver left on his own to stop the kick ahead by number 11 Gareth Evans. So that big gap in the All Blacks defence means they're now right against their own goal line. Williams to throw. Duggan is right there. And Graham Price. All Blacks in defence. A great chance here for the Lions. Following that breakout by Gareth Evans. All Blacks backs in defence. British Isles front row today, 2 changes from the first test. The All Blacks have 1 change. That's Brad Johnston. My old man's an All Black. Soon the All Blacks will be on the field for the second test with 1 new cap, Mark Taylor, with 3 changes, with the withdrawal of Grant Batty and Bruce Robertson, and the withdrawal through illness of Manawatu's Kent Lambert. Bill Bush, Mark Taylor and Lynn Jaffray will be in the All Black team. They were the 3 players who did not play at Wellington. Now here's the band in line-out formation. And the tune, appropriately enough, Land of Hope and Glory. Well, I guess you could say it could only happen in New Zealand. The Army band giving a demonstration in rugby form, and that's been greatly appreciated by the huge crowd massed in the stands here at the Lancaster Park Oval. In fact, this will be the biggest crowd of the tour, because the ground capacity here with the enormous embankment opposite the stands, which holds upwards of 35,000 fans, all packed in, is in fact bigger than the capacity of Eden Park, which is previously New Zealand's biggest ground. So close to 60,000 today here at the park. And very shortly, a matter of seconds, the 30 players coming onto the field.
Running Jack Ray replaces Bruce Robertson, and will be wearing the number 13 jersey at 5'8". Bill Osborne.
There is the British Isles team as they come on to the field. 6 changes from the first test, and the forward pack, 5 newcomers.